Today we are going to be baking one of my favorite recipes. This one is for everyone who turns to chocolate for therapy. So me and my people. It's for all of my new best friends out there, like my boy Grant. What up, Grant? That's my Paul Trout voice. It's a lot more fun when we're together. I sound just like him, I think. This one's also for Carice because Mom told me that she's not loving all the desserts that Mom's posting and that she wants chocolate. I was like, done, I got that. So we're gonna make some brownies and we're gonna make them extra chocolatey because this is how we live our lives. So this is everything you need. I'll go through each of the ingredients. We start with chocolate chips. And so the recipe calls for 5 ounces of unsweetened chocolate chips and 2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate chips. So if you have a kitchen scale, this is where you use your kitchen scale. Put the bowl on, just like you're back in high school chemistry. Pour the chips in, check the measurement. If you don't have a measuring scale, we are gonna figure out how much 7 ounces is because I don't know. As you can see here too, I just used the exact same chocolate twice. I don't have 2 different kinds of fancy chocolate in my house. I have a lot of chocolate chips. So for me, this is really just 7 ounces of chocolate chips, but we'll measure it out real quick. So this is 2 ounces. I'd say that's probably ½ cup. It's a little bit less than ½ cup. Let's see if it's a 1/3 cup. Looks too much. Yeah, that's good. All right, so 2 ounces is 1/3 of a cup. That's easy. So if you don't have a scale, do 1/3 of a cup of the first chocolate, and then 5 ounces is about a cup, maybe a little less. Cool. So then I'm going to combine all the chocolate and microwave it. So the recipe says to microwave it for 2 minutes on half power. I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to microwave for 30-second increments and just stir in between. It'll probably be done after about a minute, but I'm gonna check it. So I'm gonna microwave this for a minute in 30-second increments. So this is chocolate that's been microwaved for a minute. I'm just going to stir it. Ooh, that looks good. Nice. So after about a minute, I'm going to add in butter. So it calls for 8 tablespoons. And it said to cut it up into 4 pieces, but I cut it up into 8 pieces because I live dangerously. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in the microwave and it says to just microwave until smooth. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 30-second increments just to make sure it all gets melted. So this is going back in. So while your chocolate is in the microwave, now is the time to prepare your brownie pan. And I also want to show you my cookbook because I love this cookbook. So it's called Everything Chocolate, and it is exactly what it promises. It's just literally a book of chocolate recipes, and it teaches you how to work with chocolate. It's super cool. It's by America's Test Kitchen, who have the best cookbooks of all time. Seriously, we own like, how many would you say? Like 6 of them? Oh, we own a lot. So that's what this recipe's from. So for your brownie pan, I have an 8x8, so it's a square. If you have a pan that's not an 8x8, that's fine. You can use it. Just keep an eye on your cooking temperature because it'll cook differently than a square pan. What you can do is spray it with Pam. I have some nice Pam here. Spray it because we don't want our brownies to stick to the sides or stick to the bottom. I use parchment paper because I love parchment paper. And I've actually cut this piece of parchment paper so that it will perfectly fit in my pan. And if I just press it, it's not gonna stick. So I'm going to both spray it with Pam and use parchment paper. Oh, that smells good. That smells like cupcakes. I don't think it's supposed to smell like that. Parchment paper in the pan. You want to come show this baby? So nice. Look at that. Look at that pan! So this is my mixture after about another 45 seconds. It's smooth, but there are still definitely some chunks in there. I I honestly don't mind the chunks. I don't need it to be 100% smooth. When you melt chocolate in the microwave, it can be really finicky. The last thing that you want is burnt chocolate. It's gross, it smells bad, and it's a waste of chocolate, which is frankly criminal. That made me shudder. So if it's a little bit underdone, that's okay. If you see some butter chunks in there, that's okay. It's all gonna go in your brownies. It's all gonna melt and be delicious. So once your chocolate mixture is done, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And I forgot to say step 1, always step 1 is preheat the oven to 350. Ooh, sorry, okay. So I'm gonna mix this in, and then I'm kind of just running my spoon around it a little bit more to help it cool. I want this mixture to be cooled before I add it to the next part of the recipe. And the reason is the next part of the recipe uses eggs, and my eggs are cold. So if you add hot chocolate to cold eggs, it denatures the proteins, which essentially just makes your recipe a little bit yuckier. So I'm gonna let this cool completely before I add it to the next part, which I haven't even started yet. But using your spoon, stirring it up, just kind of helps it cool down. So if you're in a hurry and you really want brownies, just stir it a little bit. Don't put it in the fridge because that's going to turn it into a solid, which is a completely different mixture and not what we want here. So just stir it, let it sit aside for a few minutes, and it'll be fine. All right, so for the next part, we are going to combine sugar, salt, vanilla, and eggs. This is about 1 1/4 cups of sugar, and I ran out of the cute glass bowls, so these are the plastic bowls. That doesn't matter. Sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 large eggs. So I'm just gonna add them in. This bowl was not the right choice for those eggs, but that's fine. Okay. Then I'll whisk them. If you have a mixer or a KitchenAid, a fancy standing mixer, you definitely don't need it for this one. This is a nice, simple recipe. It just uses a lot of bowls. You also don't have to use every single bowl that you own every time that you bake. You can just do your measurements straight from the things that you own. Okay, that's all whisked in. So next, I'm going to add in my cooled chocolate mixture. So I have a rubber spatula. I'm gonna use that to scrape everything out. And then I'm gonna set it aside because I also need that soon when I mix in my flour. So first, we're gonna add in the chocolate. I use this spoon first because there's some good chocolate on there. Oop, okay. Just put that right there. And then, oh yeah. Oh God, I could just bathe in it. I won't, but I could. Oh God, it smells so good. I wish I could video smells, but it's fine. Okay. So I'm just gonna put that aside and then whisk it in. Again, just make sure you let that chocolate cool. So nice. Oh yeah, love brownies. Okay, so now I'm done with my whisk. I'm just gonna get all the stuff off. Excellent. And now I want to add 1 cup of flour. So when you incorporate flour into a recipe, you want to fold it in. You don't really want to just go at it with a spoon, because that's going to kind of lead to a drier texture. So I'm just going to fold it. It took me a long time to figure out what folding was because it just conceptually, I have a hard time picturing folding liquid. It just doesn't make sense. So what I do is kind of a full scrape of the bowl and then push it over like that. And then I go down the middle and then a full scrape and push it over. So a gentle fold. It's fine. If you're still confused, just go down a YouTube hole, look for somebody else doing it. Ooh, watch, what's her name, baby? The Barefoot Contessa. I love her. Ina Garden. She started as like a military scientist or something in the government, and then just started doing cooking. It's the dream, minus the government stuff. So it's looking good. It's getting nice and incorporated. Oh yeah. So that's it for the books recipe. I am unsurprisingly going to add more chocolate. So this is looking pretty good. If I have some streaks of flour, that's okay. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It just has to be mostly combined. So I'm just getting the stuff from the sides. Okay. And then what I have to the side over here is more semi-sweet chocolate chips, because you can never have enough. And I also have some milk chocolate chips because I made a birthday cake a few weeks ago and it needed these. And we haven't really used them, so I'm just gonna toss those in. We'll do a little half and half here, and then I'll pour in some semi-sweets. No measuring, just use your heart. So I'm gonna fold these in too because I don't wanna over mix now that my flour is perfectly mixed. If you're not really into adding chocolate chips, totally fine, don't do it. But you can top your brownies. You can put on caramel and you can put on ganache, which is really good. If you like peanut butter, you can add a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter to the batter, stir it up a little bit, and then you have peanut butter brownies. It's amazing. So we're gonna add this to our pan. All right, so I'm going to just pour my batter into the pan and then smooth out the top. Oh God, it's heavy. Another super fun benefit of using parchment paper here is that when my brownies are ultimately done, I'm gonna be able to lift them up by the parchment paper. So my pan will still be dirty because I didn't cover all the sides, but it's still pretty cool because you can literally just lift the brownies out. Okay, so that's done. Go to the sink, and then we'll spread this out. This is kind of a thick batter. I'm just pushing it essentially to the sides. Start from the middle and work your way out. That's the easier way to do it. Oh yeah. Just flattening it, making sure no side is bigger than the other. That is the good stuff. All right. And that's it. My sink's right there. I'm not just like throwing things. So now I'm gonna bake it for, this says 35 to 40 minutes. My oven also lives dangerously and ignores all conventional cooking methods. So it could be 40 minutes for me. It could be an hour for me. It really depends. I'm gonna cook it for 40 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. So to check it, oh, we'll just do that over video, never mind. I am in the oven. All right, it's been 40 minutes. I put them in for 20 and then I rotated them and then put them in for another 20. So we're gonna see if 40 minutes was long enough. Oh, so what I'm gonna do, I have toothpicks. I'm literally just gonna stab, and if they come out clean, they're probably overbaked. If they come out with a couple of crumbs, they're good. And if it comes out and it's still really wet, then they are not done. So let's see. Oof, they look good. Yes. So I'm just going in straight in the middle because if it's not cooked, that's where, ooh. Yes. That is good. That is what I want to see. That's a little wet. Or I'm just using the same toothpick, so it's not very helpful. Sick. Calling it. That's good. 40 minutes. Done. Bucket. So I'm gonna let these cool, completely cool. If you want to top them, don't top them until they're cool. Otherwise your topping will just get I'm gonna let them cool. And then I'm gonna pull them up by the parchment paper, move them to a pan, cut them up, and eat all of them. Brownies. So we're literally just gonna pull. It's that easy. And that's why you use parchment paper. That's it. Now I'm just gonna cut and I'm gonna eat a lot of brownies. We'll go with this big. Oh yeah. I've been letting them cool for a very long time. I honestly don't even remember when I started filming the video, so we'll say a good few hours. That's not enough. So it makes 9 brownies. Oh no, we'll eat that one tonight. Oh gosh. All right, makes 9 brownies. They're gonna be delicious. Don't cut them like I did. Be better.